Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Latin America show. My name is Enrique Gelista, and it's a pleasure being tonight here with all of you. This Tuesday, it's a rainy day, but also now, well, it was a rainy day, now it's sunny. So we are enjoying the weather in London that is changing every minute. So, well, thank you very much for watching us. I would like to ask you, as always, that well, share this video with more people, give us a like, follow us in all our social networks. You can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube and also put the bell there in order that you know every time we're uploading a video. And also all the previous chapters, you can watch them directly there. And of course, well, here on Facebook, if you put the bell also, it's like you are going to have a reminder every time that we're broadcasting a new video. And well, of course, I would like to ask you to share this program because you know that, well, we are supporting a lot of different people across the world, not only in London, it's across Latin America and all over the world, like people that they are linked with Latin America. And also, well, we're bringing you the best of it. And well, I would like to invite you to different events that we have. And also, as I told you before, we are going to celebrate different Independence Days across Latin America. And one of them is the independence of Colombia. So, well, we have prepared an extraordinary challenge. Oh, well, it's not a challenge, it's a contest that, well, we would like to invite you to dance, to prepare your choreography. It's going to be really easy, honestly. You don't have to have the skills, or if you believe that, well, you're not a good dancer, anyway, you can try it because, well, the way that is going to, well, that we're going to manage this contest is going to be very simple. You have to choose one of the songs that we have on YouTube. That, well, is like, well, the first great salsa song. Thank you, Roger, for that. And you have to choose one of the three songs that we have on YouTube that, well, they are courtesy of our friends from La Mamba Negra. Mamba Negra, they said, okay? And yeah, I know Whitney, she's laughing and she's looking at me like, yes, you say it correctly. Yeah, well, our friends from La Mamba Negra, they provide us, so it's just 1 minute that you have to record yourself to make a video dancing. It could be single, it could be with a partner, it could be with a group, it could be with your friends, with, I don't know. It's like just you can express yourself however or whatever you want. So it doesn't matter. It's like just to have fun, enjoy it. And also, if you have some live music that maybe you have some musicians that they are your friends and they are going to play something live, it's okay. Also, you can use that one. It's like once you film the video, that is going to be around 1 minute that we are asking you, send us that video to salsaton 2021 at gmail.com. All the information, you can find it in the section of events here in the Latin America show page on Facebook. And you can see, well, all the different terms and conditions. So it's very easy. So, well, if you don't remember which is the email or where to find these songs, just go there and you can see them exactly as Roger is showing us, where you can find all the information that is come here that, well, you can see the different videos that you can choose, well, the music that you can choose to dance. And well, of course, as I told you before, if you have some friends that maybe they are playing live, okay, you can use them. And why we are saying this, because you know that, well, Facebook is asking for the rights of some songs. So that's the reason why we are telling you to use these songs or something that is live. Because if not, Facebook is putting different kind of rules and they are not allowing us to perform or to use songs that they have copyrights. So please use this one, send it before the 12th, well, till the 12th of July. And all the videos, we're going to upload them on our Instagram page. So, well, you can add your friends to vote there. And also we're gonna have a poll here on the Latin America show, the 20th of July, that is the independence of Colombia. So you can, well, people, they can vote and they can choose who is gonna be the winner. It's interesting, you can see that, well, it's like I have like some sun here, see? And it's amazing that, well, we have sun here in London. Anyway, so that is one again that, well, please don't miss out. It's gonna be like really interesting. It's to have fun, it's to enjoy all of us. And I would like to say hello to mis amigos, Whitney Nuchereno.
Hello, it's sunny, kind of overcast here in Buffalo, New York. So yeah, enjoying the 5 minutes of sunshine we get here today. Yeah, I'm excited for the show tonight. It's been a good day. Federer won yesterday. He's playing again tomorrow. Yay. Italy versus Spain. Who are you rooting for? Put it in the comments. And excited for our guests tonight and for my segment, which is not about telling time. So yay, new segment.
Oh.
That's it.
Excellent, Whitney. Thank you very much for that. On the other side, here in London, in Clapham Junction, we have Roger Alarcon.
Hello, everyone. You say it very well this time. No mistakes. Clapham Junction, yes. We're talking about the weather. Yes, it's like we don't know what's going on here. Probably in Buffalo it's okay, but here sometimes rain, sometimes sun, sometimes wind, sometimes cold. I don't know. But anyway, it's been a nice day, and obviously welcome you everyone. And you were saying, Whitney,
Yes.
Federer won, but also is the first Mexican judge in one of the main events. It was our friend Juan Solari. It was one Mexican, one Latin American as a judge. So Latin Americans are everywhere.
Wait, as a judge for what?
For the the judges in the back.
The lines.
When there's a tennis match.
Oh, you mean a line. Oh, okay. Yeah. They're linesmen. Like they call the lines. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's the first time a Mexican or Latin American is in one of these major event over there.
Is he on the sidelines or is he on the chair?
Not in the chair, in the sidelines.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, a linesman. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, as long as he calls them in Federer's favor tomorrow, I'm all about it.
Come on. It's not.
That's okay. Federer's 1-0 against who he's playing tomorrow, so we're good. We're ready.
Actually, I saw him today. Juan Solari, that is our friend, that he's a judge. I saw him today. Yeah.
Right, because
he was in other places today, but yeah. So it's like good. That's really good. And also, while talking about Latin America, it's like remember that the 24th and 25th of July we're gonna have an event that is gonna be the South Social Film Festival. And remember to invite your friends. They are like tickets. I think so. They still some tickets available, and you can go to the page of South Social Film Festival. And you can find all the information there. Remember that, they are going to talk about, we're going to have some movies. They are going to have some dances, music, etc. So it's going to be about Argentina. Also, it's going to be about Mexico and also Brazil. So, it's going to be interesting. The films is like you can find all the information in the South Social Film Festival.co.uk. If not, you can Google it. It's very easy to find it. So, it's like don't miss out this opportunity. And also, if you want to buy tickets, remember that. Which one is the code, Roger? Do you remember? SSFF disc.
SSFF
disc. Like a disc, like a normal disc. Yeah. So it's like, and you can get a discount. So, don't forget that part. And I will like say hello to our friends that they are already connected here. I can see Abhijit that is saying good afternoon, Latin America, good evening, Latin American team. Also, Esvieta, that was she's saying buenas noches a todos in Spanish. Hello all, Liliana. Abhijit is talking about Italy versus Spain now.
Yes, Liliana, now.
What is saying, however,
I know.
However, you have other tune and you have the singers of the permission. As we were saying, that it's like if you have this music that it could be like allowed that we can use and they don't have rights that we will have any issues. You can use it, and that is for the salsaton. Who else we have here? We have Annalise also here. Hello, Annalise. She's saying hola a todos. Everybody's practicing Spanish now. Okay, that's good. Who are you supporting, Abhijit? Colombia or Argentina? So it's like now they are like putting in troubles to Abhijit. Our friends from Jaramillo Cafe, They are here also. So thank you very much for everyone for your comments. And also it's like, you were asking who is the person, sorry, which team they are like supporting, right, Whitney?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I put the Spain flag in the flex. Gotta go for Spain.
Also, well, we have here our friend Paola Meli. That actually Paola, she is well the director of the South Social Film Festival. Why I have this issue with this one all the time? South Social Film Festival. Yeah.
Say it 10 times.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So it's like, so remember to buy your tickets. You will have the opportunity to enjoy these kind of independent movies. And talking about independent movies, if you have the opportunity to watch the promo that we have two extraordinary directors and also filmmakers here, editor, etc. Because well, they have to do different tasks. So we're going to have Victor Fraga, that he's from Brazil, and also we're going to have Laura Plancarte, that she is from Mexico, and they are going to tell us a little bit about the challenges, about what is this kind of independent movies, when you can watch them, and also well all the story that is behind them. So well, thank you very much. It's a tongue twister, Enrique. Yes, you're saying Paola is saying that. Yes, I know. For me, it's like, and you know what? I need to write it down and just to put it in front of my laptop just to remember. Yeah, that part. But well, anyway. So I think so. It's like, yes, that's my point. Yeah.
That was me.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you.
Yeah, tongue twister. Trabalenguas.
Yeah, I know. So thank you very much for that, Whitney. So which side you are, Whitney? Here. Yeah, thank you. So well, I think it's time to go to Whitney's section.
It is.
The first part of I don't know. It's gonna be the new section or what you were talking about, the new topic or what?
You will see in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, Enrique is starting to mute his microphone without me asking because he hates when I ask him. So there you go. All right. So guys, welcome to the first part of Making Spanish Simple. We've talked a lot about telling time in the past few segments. And although I did notice in last week's show that someone asked to do expressions with time, which I will get to soon, I didn't want to exacerbate this topic, and I figured we'll go back to that. So tonight, we're going to dedicate the segment to the theme of the show, which is movies. So let's begin. Let me just get my background up. Okay, so last time we did movies, we talked about genres, and I asked you guys like what kind of movies you liked. So I decided to steer clear of that since we've already done it. So let's do a couple like basic words that have to do with movies. For example, we have el cine. El cine is like cinema, okay? And to say movie, la película. I've seen el film, but that's la película is a little bit more well-known. You have, so for tickets, there are a bunch of ways you can say it. The two main ways is entrada, okay, or entrada de cine, or boleto de cine. Entrada, that's because it's like this is for tickets, not just for the cinema, for tickets in general, like to a museum exhibit or whatnot, because it's an entrance, right? So you can have la entrada or la entrada de cine, okay? Hence the parentheses, or el boleto or boleto de cine. So that's the first few. And remember, as cine, whenever we have a C before an E or an I, it makes an S sound, but a C before an A, O, or U, like película, makes a K sound. So there you go. Just reviewing some of the pronunciation. All right, so of course you think of what you eat at the cinema. So I was thinking of, it's been a long time since I've been to a cinema. So you can have, and there's lots of ways to say candy. One of them is los dulces. And then for popcorn, palomitas or palomitas de maíz. Maíz is corn. Okay. And all right. So it's a little, so those are the two main snacks I was thinking for movies. There are more, but I was trying to link what we did with this to last week's episode. And this is where numbers are involved. So you use it with a lot of things, and one of them is going out and watching a film. For example, you have the number of tickets. How many tickets do you want? Prices, which we'll get to in a second. What time the films are at, how long they are. So if we're going to ask, like, what time does a film begin? ¿A qué hora empieza or comienza la película? Okay, ¿a qué hora? And then if you want to say, well, how long is it? ¿Cuánto tiempo dura la película? Or ¿a qué hora termina or la película, for example? So that's kind of, connecting the numbers with any outdoor excursion that you're going to have in, well, any language, but in this case, Spanish. And speaking of which, you have another way to use numbers is the price, el precio. So the main question is ¿cuánto cuesta or cuestan? Now it depends, okay? So if you want to say something like you're buying a ticket, you want to ask, you could say ¿cuánto cuesta la entrada or el boleto? How much does this ticket cost? And it's singular. Now, if it was more than one ticket, it'd be ¿cuánto cuestan las entradas, los boletos? See, just like I put below, ¿cuánto cuestan las palomitas? Palomitas de maíz. ¿Cuánto cuestan los dulces? And that's where you use numbers as well, because you're asking for a price. Now, going back to palomitas and los dulces, question for you guys out there. Do you prefer savory or sweet when you go to the cinema? Or the last time you've been to the cinema, if it was 20,000 years ago. So put it in the comments. ¿Qué prefieres comer? ¿Los dulces o las palomitas? Okay, popcorn or sweets? What is your preference? Okay, para mí, yo prefiero las palomitas de maíz, por ejemplo. Okay, esa es mi preferencia. Así que write it in the comments, please. Now, we're going to get to those in a second. So moving on. Okay, so another thing, and I'm kind of using some basic vocab you might need, is about films. Now, if you're traveling, there's a very good chance that the film is not in your native tongue. So you might want to ask, ¿hay subtítulos? Now, I means there is or there are. There's only one form to say it, whether it's something that's singular or plural after it. So hay subtítulos, and you could say, yeah, hay subtítulos en. And here are some of the languages that are spoken in Latin American countries. And for tourists, which is Inglés. Of course, you have Español, if, you never know, Portuguese, Francés, because I thought, well, Haiti could be a possibility. Or they might say está doblada la película, which means it's dubbed. And el doblaje is dubbing, which is another thing. That's when obviously they do the voiceover. Okay, so that's it as far as the vocab for tonight. Okay, but I want to look at your comments on which do you prefer. Okay, I'm going to look here, and if I don't see something, I know Enrique and Roger are going to help me out, but Liliana dice, prefiero comer perro caliente. Oh, hot dog. Okay, perfecto. Garen Dancy says, prefiero palomitas de maíz dulce. Oh, sweet popcorn. Very nice. Nice way of bringing the two together. Why choose if you can combine them both? Prefiero palomitas. En Ecuador decimos canguil de dulce o de sal a las palomitas. Okay, that means, what's canguil de dulce? That's a word I haven't seen. Can one of my students help me out with this?
Sweet.
It's no. She's saying that, well, instead of saying palomitas de maíz, they are saying canguil de dulce or de sal. So it could be instead of palomitas, they are saying canguil in Ecuador. Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that before. Thank you.
Me neither, but it's good.
And
That's a nice one.
Entonces prefiero comer las palomitas cuando estoy mirando una película. Oh, with a full sentence and with the presente progresivo. Muy bien. A mí me gustan las palomitas. Exactly. Yes, thank you, Katia. Canguil de dulce, sweet popcorn. Thank you. And then Yaya says, prefiero las palomitas caramel with cheese or con chile, with chile, like hot, spicy. Nice.
Why you're putting that face?
Popcorn with cheese? I never had those ones.
Yeah,
I mean, you say the
Powder.
It's not like, it's like a powder.
Like
no?
powder.
Okay, cool.
I think so. I don't know if they're like melted or something. I don't know. That's interesting, Jaja. Is melted with cheese or is like, yeah, I haven't tried those. Yeah.
American.
Try that.
Definitely, yeah. You get it pre-bagged and it's like cheesy popcorn. We sell it in America. It's totally a thing. It's not.
She's saying orange powder. She's saying cheese powder.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it at the cinemas here, but they didn't when I was growing up. You just buy it pre-packaged like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for
No.
participating. Stay tuned for the part 2, your favorite segment, Heard on the Street. That's it.
How
That's
do
all
you
I-
prefer the palomitas, Roger? How do you
See,
eat the palomitas?
Well, I need to carry on in my backpack with the Mexican sauce, which is Valentina, and then you ask for the salty ones, and then you are like this. Nobody's looking. Look at it, yeah, or you don't want to give to anyone because you go with the English people. It's yeah, you put a lot of salty thing. You want? No, so all right for
Yeah,
you.
I think so with lime. I love them with lime and this kind of salsa. Yes, of course, I love it. It's like, and yeah, it's a good way not to share sometimes. But there are a lot of people that they like it. Yeah. Because
no, well,
people
you
Yes.
just
oh no, it's like really
COVID for not sharing now. COVID's the best excuse for not sharing anything.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's really good.
Before,
Good, Whitney. I'm going to use that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, not for
Yeah.
sharing. Yeah.
That's my personal combo cause COVID. Stay away.
You got to use COVID to your advantage these days. So yeah, it's like, oh, COVID. Are you caught?
Diana is saying that, well, a las palomitas, she's saying, en Colombia le decimos el maíz pira.
Ah,
They're
maíz.
saying,
Perfect. Alfajores. Who put that one?
you see, well, Garen also, she's saying, palomitas de maíz con chile es sabroso.
Also,
No? Yeah.
it's very tasty. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Mucha mantequilla. Yeah. Without too much butter. Mantequilla is butter. So but I don't know if they do buttered popcorn in the UK. I've never seen that. It's a very American thing. But I also haven't been to a cinema in like 3 years. So I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys. And stay tuned and thank you for teaching me a word or two. I didn't know that about the sweet corn in Ecuador or in Colombia. So muchas gracias. I'll add that to my
And
book.
also, hello to our friend Chan. That well, he's saying hello, hi Chan, how you doing? Welcome to the Latin America show. And well, it's like remember that what we're talking about an event that is going to happen the 24th and 25th of July, and this is something that you can enjoy there.
¿Y qué pasó? ¿Y tú que me decías que yo nunca podría? Pues mira que...
Excellent. So remember that the 24th is going to be dedicated to Mexico, and the 25th is going to be dedicated to Argentina. So remember that, well, you can enjoy music and you can enjoy different things. And of course, as we were saying at the beginning, you can enjoy a lot of different activities. And one of it is like, oh, our friend is like, I think so, Victor, your mobile phone is like, it's like twisted. If I don't know if you can just like move it, like, because I think it's in one side only. Yeah, I don't know if you can move it just like
¿Vi?
horizontal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you just
yes,
turn it?
Victor. Yes, you are like this. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can just move it.
Let's try it.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
excellent, Victor. Thank you very much. So, well, you have seen one of our guests now. So
Yeah.
it's like, before we start, well, we're going to have two extraordinary guests, as we said at the beginning. We are going to have Laura Plancarte, that, well, she has worked in a diverse range of mediums, including film, performance, video installations, creating interdisciplinary live projects, and that has been displayed in different kind of museums, cultural places, in Mexico City, in Barcelona, in Florence, and of course here in London. And also she has participated in different film festivals. And one of it is like, do you remember that? Well, in a previous show, maybe you remember that we were talking about the Raindance Film Festival. Actually, that is like here in London. And actually, well, I had the opportunity to meet her there. And well, she has produced and she has, well, it's like she has presented different films in this festival. So welcome to Laura. But before going to Laura, we're going to have also Victor. So Whitney.
Yes. Yes, Victor Fraga is a Brazilian-born and London-based writer with more than 15 years of involvement in the cinema industry and beyond. He is an LGBT writer, has vast experience as a film journalist, was previously the editor of the now defunct UK independent magazine, The Film Festival, and Juggle Drums. He has written about film for large national newspapers on both sides of the Atlantic, including The Guardian, A Tarde and O Povo, or Povu. I'm not a Portuguese speaker. He's known to dig deep down and to reclaim the value of the precious gemstones of cinema in the UK, Brazil, Europe, and elsewhere. And we're excited to have him on our show tonight.
So here
hello,
we
everyone.
Are. Welcome. Welcome, Laura, and welcome, Victor. How are you doing?
Hello.
It's a pleasure having you here. It's like, yeah. And well, I would like to start with, we decided to have you, both of you together because, well, we are talking about this interesting topic and also both of you, you can share our experience, well, your experiences in this industry and also the different challenges that exist. So I would like to start asking you, Laura, first, like, well, if you can just tell us a little bit about your career pre-film and how you ended in the film industry later.
Well, first of all, Enrique, it's so nice to see you and to be invited to the Latin American show. So thank you so much. And Roger, thank you so much. And it's great to share this with Victor and Whitney and all of you. And so yes, as you were saying, Enrique, I am a filmmaker and I'm an artist. And I'm right now making my fourth documentary, which is called The Mexican Dream. And I have done previously 3 other feature films. And the latest one is called Non-Western, and it's about an interracial couple from the state of Montana in the United States. And it premiered last year at Visions du Riel in Switzerland, and then went to IDFA in Holland, and has done a wonderful tour in the festivals. Also was in Raindance that you were talking about. And and it's a weird situation not to make films, because I think I have always known I'm a creator, but to ended up living in London, that was unexpected. Now I have been living here for 12 years, and you know, I'm very Latin, and I love Mexico and I love the sunshine. So I never thought that I would end up here, but life sometimes surprises you, and that's how things happened. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys. So thank you.
Of course.
Very
Thank
much,
you.
Laura.
And Victor, a question. Yes, for you. That's different. So before we talk about kind of film and all your accomplishments in that, let's talk about your journalism experience as it helped shape your work in the film industry. Can you talk about that and the connection it has to film?
Yes, absolutely. Very happy to talk about the connection between film and journalism, particularly the practice of making documentary. So documentary making and journalism are very intimately connected. So it's very natural that as a journalist, someone who has written about film for about 20 years, it's a very natural step to go into documentary. So The Coup d'Etat Factory is my first feature film. It's just been finalized. It's been selected for the Havana Film Festival in Cuba. We don't know the date yet because the pandemic has posed an extra hurdle for us. So I've written about film and about other things as well for about 20 years. Written about film, written about technology. I used to work for The Guardian for 7 years. I edited a few indie magazines, and I run a company called Dirty Movies, or D Movies if you prefer, which is a portal for thought-provoking cinema. So we've been in the market for 6 years, and we write about films made in every corner of the planet. And by dirty, we mean thought-provoking films, films that will make you question society, that will serve as a transformational tool, both from a personal perspective, a political perspective, social perspective as well. So I strongly believe a film is never just a film. A film is a powerful tool, and it can be a hegemonic tool. So Americans use it exceedingly well in order to proliferate imperialism. It can also be an eye-opener. So independent filmmakers like myself, and I would hazard a guess Laura as well, I haven't seen her films, but I would hazard a guess. She also believes that documentary is, and film more broadly, is an eye-opener. So it's supposed to make people think, make people question, make people see things that they wouldn't notice otherwise.
Wonderful, thank you. And I want to get into that in a minute, but I just kind of want to like go back and forth because I have a question for Laura. You wear many hats in the film industry, and one of your titles is writer and director. So, and as you mentioned a question ago, that many of the topics of your films that you made show social problems and even human rights. Can you talk to us about a little bit more about why you've decided to make this the theme of your work?
Yes, Whitney, thank you. I think before coming to London, I worked mainly as a visual artist. And when I came to London, I was searching for a grant, and I got a grant to do filmmaking in order to specialize so I could do my work in video art better, with better tools. But when I was here, I fell in love with filmmaking completely. And I was traveling back to Mexico at some point, and I was going to inaugurate an exhibition in Instituto Cultural Cabañas in Guadalajara. And I was very excited. I'm happy about it. But then I was riding in the bus from Mexico City to Guadalajara. And in the bus, I met this girl, and we started talking, and she told me her story. And she comes from Guerrero, which is a state in Mexico that is part of this region called Tierra Caliente, which is very conflicted due to the drug wars. And she told me her story and the story of her family, and I was really inspired and affected. And I thought, well, it's great that I'm going to, be doing this exhibition right now in Cabañas, but definitely what she has to say is much more important than only having my own voice into my own kind of psychology or, perspective of myself in the world and the world that I see. And I thought, I want to work with this girl. So that's how everything started. And at some point I told her, we need to show this. We need to tell your story and the story of your family. But because it was very dangerous to obviously film with the real family in Tierra Caliente, we decided to only do audio recordings. And then from those recordings, and I did like a verbatim script, but because the film was going to need to be a reenactment, I thought, well, if I need actors, then I don't want to pretend that this is the family. So I translated into English, and I shot it in London in studio with an international cast. And I realized that I could do my own work and my own art. And obviously everything it's going to be seen at the end through my lens, because a documentary, I think, as Victor says, exposes and opens dialogue, but I think it always comes from the perspective of the maker. Mm-hmm. At least in myself, I don't believe that there is this just absolute truth that you are going to expose, because I don't think it exists in a way. So I thought, I want to obviously keep on creating, but I want to be able to give voice to people that are also shouting and that can talk to you and present their own reality. So at the end, is their voice, but obviously through my own perspective that it's seen. And I found it the most incredible experience. And from then on, I have only worked now. I don't literally almost not work anymore as a visual artist, and I mainly work as a filmmaker, and I mainly do documentary.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you.
And well, I think so that well, it's like, and I'm gonna go back to now to Victor, and it's like, well, it's like, um, well, your writing is known to be very compelling and also incisive and controversial, as you said before. That well, it's like this kind of disruptive things, and hence to the top of provoking films that you have made. One of these one is Coup d'etat, yeah, the film. So I don't know if you can tell us just a little bit. I know that well it's a trailer that well is going to come the 25th, but I don't know if you can just tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's actually my first feature film. I haven't done other feature films before, but it's a project I've been working on for 4 years. It's a film about media manipulation and the collapse of Brazilian democracy. So it's basically about how the media in Brazil helped to remove Dilma in 2016 and the shape of a parliamentary coup. So she was removed without any wrongdoing. The media poisoned people with lies. The media made people hate the Workers' Party, the PT. Literally, the media created a hate culture. That the people associated the PT with corruption. So they kept banging the C word until people started hating the left wing. After that, the media helped to jail Lula because Lula was expected to win the elections in 2018. I'm actually wearing, boasting my T-shirt, which is from the Lula Vigil. As part of my film, I went outside the prison where he was held for about a year and a half. He was finally freed, as you're probably aware of. All the charges have been dropped because there were the whole ordeal. So my film is about how the media helped to topple Dilma, helped to imprison Lula as the second step. However, the media did not want to elect a monster such as Bolsonaro. The media wanted to elect a right-wing candidate. But because they created this culture of hate, Bolsonaro grew. Bolsonaro is a fascist, and fascism is fueled by lies and fake news. So the media unwittingly created a monster in the shape of lies and fake news. And we are talking about fascism. It's no exaggeration. We're talking about someone who openly champions torture, dictatorship, who openly wants to machine gun down the opposition, who is a huge denialist, deeply corrupt, destructive towards the environment, a monster in every way. And once the media created that monster, the media did not know how to deal with this monster because Bolsonaro doesn't appreciate press freedom. So my film is about that, how the media destroyed Lula, destroyed Dilma, and unwittingly created a monster that's now coming back to bite them in the back. It's coming back to bite them in the butt. So it's also a film about how Brazil has a history of coup d'etats and how that's not confined to Brazil. So Latin America, with the exception of Mexico, nearly every country, and certainly every large country of Latin America, has a long tradition of coup d'etats. They are always enthusiastically and either directly or indirectly supported by the US. Perhaps the reason why Mexico doesn't have a culture of coup d'etats is because Mexico is historically very right-wing, except for the new president, AMLO. So this culture of coup d'etats is not restricted to Brazil. And certainly the culture of media manipulation is not restricted to Latin America. We draw a lot of parallels with the UK, and we learn that the media is controlled by millionaires pretty much anywhere over the world. So in Brazil, we have Globo and the Marinho family. In the UK, you've got Rupert Murdoch, and there's very few truly independent newspapers. We'd like to think the Guardian, truly independent and left-wing newspapers. Newspapers represent the interests of millionaires. The Guardian is no exception. We like to see the Guardian as a left-wing newspaper. The Guardian is a center newspaper. The Guardian has supported Iraq, failed to denounce the coup in Brazil, did its utmost to destroy the left wing of the Labour Party. So we don't have a truly independent voice. So the media is just as biased in this country. However, this is obviously a parliamentarist country. So coups are not really entirely feasible. So there's a lot to talk about. The film is 1 hour and 45 minutes long. So democracy, the collapse of democracy in Latin America and more broadly in the rest of the world.
Also, you were touching an interesting topic that I would like to ask you to both of you, for Victor and for Laura. And it's about, you were talking about media, you were saying about how powerful it could be, all these independent movies, etc. How do you consider that nowadays these independent movies, they have like, what is the responsibility that you have creating these movies?
No, I'm very happy to pick it up first. Well, I'm Brazilian. I'm British Brazilian. I also consider myself British, despite having no British blood inside me. I've lived in this country all of my adult life, but I've never ceased being Brazilian. So doing this film is my duty towards Brazil. It's my own personal duty. It's reminding people, in Brazil during the dictatorship, they used to say, Brazil, love it or leave it. That was the slogan of the dictatorship, because it denounced all the political exiles as detractors. So I'm not a detractor. I left Brazil, but Brazil certainly never left me. And I think that expatriates or immigrants, or however you want to call people who live abroad outside the country of birth, play a fundamental role in politics, in articulation, and ensuring different political parties are connected, but also from an artistic perspective. I think it's my duty as a journalist and a documentarist to reveal to the rest of the world what's happening in Brazil, and also to Brazilians themselves. So Brazil is an interesting case study. So things don't happen elsewhere.
Okay, thank you, Victor. And you, Laura, because, well, always one of the things that you are, well, your films, they are true stories. What do you think? What is the responsibility that you are carrying on with this? I think you're on mute. Okay.
Sorry about that. I think for me, the biggest responsibility is with the people I'm working, because I am, in difference to Victor, I don't do journalistic kind of documentary. I do like to work with social thematic, but I'm actually fascinated by human behavior. So my films usually go into family dynamics, and through kind of like a small kind of universe, in a way, I'm exposing something about why do we choose the things we choose? Why are we in the place we are? And the backdrops are the parts that are the social complications. Like, for example, in Terra Caliente, it was to be able to shout, there's this thing in Mexico, you know, people are disappearing, families that have nothing to do with this are living this situation. But I think the film is about the dynamic between the family, and the same happens with Hermanos in the immigration film, that it is a call out to say, okay, this is a problem that is happening between Mexico and the US. But it goes into the psychological part of the characters, and the same with the film in Montana about this interracial couple from a Northern Cheyenne man with a white woman. And So for me, the responsibility is mainly with the people I'm working, because they basically invite me inside their life, and I get to share this intimacy of their world, and that's a lot of responsibility, because there's a problem, and is in a way I don't want to hurt them, but I'm not making like a fairy tale, and it's not a reality show either in any way. And at the end, they have the control of what are they going to at the end exhibit. But I think it happens in humanity that people forget that they are being filmed. And for me, the responsibility is, when I'm editing, is to drop on the floor of the edit room the things that are just sensationalist and that actually don't reveal the depth of why we act as humans the way we do, why do we do the things we do, but more create like these things that now are very fashionable, that people talk about in the social media, and that for me is only destructive, because it's actually not revealing anything that we can all empathize with, and that I actually can show you something more complicated about how we are. And so for me, the responsibility is never to lose the compass, and never to kind of get, oh, this is going to cause so much commotion because look what's happening right now. Leave all that in the edit, because I don't want to do that kind of work. And because, people's lives have no price, or not, it's important. So
You're
basically,
mute, Roger. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, Laura, you was talking about both of you guys. There's amazing work from one side and from the other. I want just to carry on with you, Laura. You won several awards for exactly for the movie you was talking about, and also identify some of the social problems. And you've been elaborated already how is the particular team. Did you feel to earn recognition? How do you feel when you earn the recognition about this project, and how it goes personally for you?
well, it's obviously always very, very nice to receive recognitions. And I think it gives you a sensation that, okay, it helps you, move forward also in the situation that when you make a film and it does go well in the festival circuit, or like broadcasters or a platform buys it and all that kind of thing, it makes you also be able to make another film, because then people say, okay, you deliver at a certain point. So there's a part where I think it's nerve-wracking. I don't know how for Victor is this part, but is when you finish the film and you needed to put it out there, and you're waiting to see which festival is going to take it, who's going to buy the film. And it's really, I hate that part of the process, because people that invested in you are waiting. People have expectations, and if you don't deliver anything, at the end it's very difficult, because it means that maybe you cannot make another film. And that for me, it would be like dying, because I have always had one thing that has kept me going in life, has been like my structure. Like for some people, I don't know, it's their family, or their children, or they married, but I am not that person. So for me, has always been my work, is what I create and what I do. So for me, the idea of thinking, well, maybe I cannot keep on working would be terrible. So that moment before that is very, very difficult for me. I have a terrible time. So when I do get to be in a good festival, have good news of an award or things like that, yes, it feels nice for the ego, that kind of thing. But most of all, it gives me peace and says, okay, it's out there, it's done. It means I'm going to make another one. And that's what actually makes me really happy.
No, I mean, the satisfaction where you give that story, which the true story, normally the documentaries, they come up with that, and it's always for the audience very refreshing to see that kind of topics, reality. And going back to Victor, I know you're going to release your first feature, but how's the film scene here in London for you?
How's the film scene in London? Well, London is obviously a very diverse.
You as a documentary now, would you, as after your career on a newspaper, which is kind of like in a different way, but at the end you converge on the same.
Yeah, well, the film industry in the UK is obviously very diverse. There's very large film festivals. There's access to there's access to a lot of festivals. To be entirely honest with you, that when Laura was talking a lot, I'll pick up on what Laura was saying, because I'm going through that right now, going through festivals, and yeah, it can be very daunting when you receive a no. We're obviously very happy and feel privileged to be picked up by the Havana Film Festival, because it's one of the most important festivals in the Americas. London and the UK are a slightly different beast. There aren't any very, very, very important film festivals in the UK. There's Sheffield for documentary. And other than that, the London Film Festival is not that big internationally. So there's no Cannes, Berlin, or Venice. There's no A-list festival anywhere in the UK. And we opted not to send our film to any London festivals because I want to be doing my London premiere myself. So I'm negotiating with some very exciting places. I can't tell you more because it is under negotiation right now. So the answer to your question is the UK industry from a production perspective is very rich. From a distributor's perspective is also very rich. However, from a festival perspective is a little bit limited. I don't know if that answers your question. I'm not entirely sure if this is what you asked. Please feel free.
It's because it's amazing. It's amazing to see both you do the commentaries, and what we try to do is mixing your stories so you can the audience can see how the different perspectives. They are totally valid.
And in that way, it's like, well, it's like you were talking about that, well, the festivals and the challenges. And later on, I would like just to ask you both, like, what are the main challenges that you both have? But I would like just to focus that, well, it's like, Laura, I'm going to you. It's like, there is the Mexican Dream that, well, is one of the films that, well, is like, actually, it's going to be released, and, well, people, they will have the opportunity if they go to the Social South Film Festival. Yeah. They will have the opportunity that this is going to be the 24th of July. So, well, it's like, I don't know if you can tell us a little bit about what is the Mexican Dream.
Well, yes, Enrique, thank you so much. So, yes, in the South Social Film Festival on the 24th at 9 p.m., we are going to present a trailer of the Mexican Dream, because it's the film I'm working at. It's in work in progress. I'm still filming. And so it's going to be ready until next year. But it's a film that when the pandemic began last year, I was going to go film in the US again, but everything got canceled. And then it gave me the opportunity to think, okay, what am I going to do right now with everything canceled? And I thought, well, there's loads of people in the world that actually live in permanent confinement without needing a pandemic. And I want to, portray the story of someone that is living like that, because now we all know what it is to be in confinement, and it's not fun. So I thought I want to do it. I want a female character, because I do still think that we still live in a very patriarchal world. So why not, empower the voice of women? And I thought, well, I want to also do then Mexico. And then it became clear if I was going to do a female character in Mexico that lives permanently in confinement, it would be the opportunity to show the story of a domestic worker. And through a contact of mine, I wanted to find, a character that was strong enough and that, that could portray this without indulging in just, the misery. And I started making a casting through Zoom interviews, and I met Maria Magdalena, who's better known as Male from Malena. And the day I met her, I knew it was her with whom I wanted to work, because she's incredibly charismatic and she's honestly a force of nature. Like when I met her, up to like 3 months afterwards that we had met, she had already started building her home. She had lost her children. She reestablished contact with her children. I mean, she's just an incredible woman. And actually, what has been very, very so an incredible positive surprise for me. So obviously, for me, working in my films, I always learn from the characters I'm working with. But in this case, I think Malena put a mirror to myself like I had never had it before. And because when I started the process, I thought, well, the life of a domestic worker in Mexico must be really miserable. And I think the social injustice is clear as water. And for me, it's really embarrassing that we live like that in Latin America with a system that disguises slavery. But what for me was incredible is that when she put this mirror, she showed me that happiness is something much more complex. And in a way, it's a decision, or I don't know if it's chemistry in your brain, or it's an attitude towards life, or it's something, because she is happy. Not with the situation of the injustice, the social injustice, but she's a woman that will always see the blessing or the good part of life, or many, many things. And she has a fantastic attitude. So there's nothing comes towards, there's like, she can jump any kind of obstacle. Something becomes hard and she just advances and she just doesn't stop. So for me, this has been a great lesson, because I think she put a mirror to my own miseries in a way, and teach me, in a way, how you need to face life. When you see a woman that is in that situation and that, she needed to get out of an abusive marriage where, her ex-husband, beat her up. And then due to that situation, she needed to flee, and then she lost her children, and she recovers and saves her money so she can, from this job that she's making in Mexico, she's now building her house, and now she's fighting custody for her children, and she can tell you a joke. And for me, it's like, it really confronted me. And it taught me that, yes, we need to fight, obviously, for this injustice, to end, but that happiness is something much more deeper. And it made me realize many things about myself. And for me, this Male, I only have like really true admiration. And for me also, I have to, it's lovely for me to share this, because only her could have done this project, because basically we were in the pandemic, and a film cannot be just talking heads narrated or something like that. So she needed to film, because I couldn't film with her at the beginning. And we created the system where I sent her an iPhone and some microphones and a tripod, and she learned how to film, how to record sound. And she's fantastic. What can I tell you? It's an incredible experience, and I cannot wait to share it with you. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think so that is just like a really good thing, because and that is something that I really like about independent movies normally. It's like they give you like something to think about. So it's like at the end of the movies, you are thinking about, oh, there are more things that I haven't seen. It's not like these fairy tale stories, and always I think so open your mind, like seeing another reality that maybe is not the one that we are living. So
Yeah. But also it's just like perspective, put everything into perspective. You know, like a lot of us have been frustrated and miserable during the pandemic, but we don't realize how good we have it in a lot of ways. So I'm sure a situation like that, you think, okay, you know, if this woman can choose happiness under these circumstances, then so can we. Another film I want to, or topic I want to talk about is with you, Victor. You've been known to be an LGBT writer. So let's talk about this in terms of your movies, and what is some of the recent work that you've done in this area?
Well, I've only, this is my first feature film. I've never done an LGBTQIA film. This is, I was a journalist for 20 years, and I'm writing about film and other things. So The Gelista Factory is my first film. I haven't made any other films.
Oh, okay. On your online bio, it said how you were a writer and those were the social causes you fight for. Is that something that you want to do then in any future work? Is that one of the topics you'd like to portray in your work at all?
Well, my film does address the topic of LGBT rights, obviously with a fascist in power, someone who says he'd rather have a dead son than see a son with a mustached man. That's what he literally said.
Okay.
Bolsonaro, ironically, one of his children is gay. So my film does touch on the topic of LGBT rights. One of our protagonists is Brazil's biggest LGBT activists, Jean Willis, who had to flee into exile following persecution from Bolsonaro, who kept threatening to kill him and his entire family. So Jean Willis went to live in New York, and now in Boston, teaching at Harvard, teaching fake news at Harvard. Now he lives in Barcelona. So Jean Willis is one of our film protagonists, and he does talk about the topic of LGBTQ. Let me give you a very interesting fact. In Brazil, we say, and it's very true, that the Willy bottle won the elections for Bolsonaro. So what is the Willy bottle? The Willy bottle, or mamadeira de piroca, mamadeira de pitulín in Spanish, is a bottle that never existed, but it's the biggest piece of fake news circulated in the history of Brazil. So someone got a baby bottle, changed the teat to a penis-shaped teat, and recorded a video saying that the Workers' Party was going to implement that in the nurseries in order to combat homophobia. So, and people actually believe that. It's the biggest piece of fake news in the history of Brazil. And it played a major role in electing Bolsonaro. So active homophobia helped to elect Bolsonaro. People were actually scared that their child was going to be force-fed through a little baby bottle with a penis at the top. So that's something we talk about in the film. Another piece of fake news, which is once again related to homophobia, is Jean was a member of parliament before he fled into exile. So, and he proposed a gay marriage legislation long before we had gay marriage in Brazil. Gay marriage in Brazil was legalized in the Supreme Tribunal. It was a very unusual type of legalization. It wasn't through parliament. So, but anyway, years ago, before we had gay marriage, proposed, had a bill, introduced a bill proposing gay marriage. So people took that bill, same number, same information, and said that Jean was proposing to legalize the marriage with animals. So the number, once again, they were using homophobia and fake news in order to discredit the left. So and equaling gay people with animals. So basically, So I'm talking a little bit about homophobia within the context of my film. Yeah, I do happen to be an LGBTQ man, but I wouldn't say LGBT topics will be my top priority. I think I'm a political being, and well, we don't know. I've considered doing a film, a very interesting. I have considered doing a short film about the flower test. I'll tell you what the flower test is. I'm going to share the secret with you. Actually, yeah, flower test is something that never existed. Once again, there's a very, very old piece of fake news, very old, from the dictatorship. And when I say flour, I mean as in cooking flour, not as in the flower that grows in your garden, as in wheat flour. So there was a widespread myth in Brazil during the dictatorship that when you did your test for the military, they made people pass through the flower test to determine whether they were gay or not. And that was meant to scare gay people from engaging into anal sex. So what did this test consist of? The test that never existed. The test consisted of you sitting butt naked on flour, and then someone coming in and analyzing the anal pleats, the drawing of your anus on the flour to determine whether you had anal sex or not. So this obviously doesn't work. But that idea, oh, am I going to pass the flour test, was meant to scare gay people during the military dictatorship. And I'd actually do a film about that one day, because it's so incredibly absurd that it deserves a film. So it could be an interesting topic, that one.
Okay, very interesting. All right, so I have a question for Laura. And this is actually not necessarily film related, because although it's played an integral role in your career, you still dabble in visual art. So what role does that play in your work, and what are some of the projects that you've been working on?
Well, I think, yes, I come from that. I haven't worked as a visual artist in the past, I think it's almost 9 years. So I think it has, migrated my work in the visual arts to the filmmaking itself. I think each film has its own personality, and there's a way for me that obviously the film has visually, because that's the medium of film. Obviously also sound is very important in a film, but visuals is crucial. So every film I treat it in a different way, where I can express in a more kind of poetic or metaphorical way what's happening in what we were talking about, the family dynamic. So I haven't worked, I haven't done like any kind of video art or art installation lately. So it has all been focused in the filmmaking.
Very nice. And I think, Enrique, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry. It's like, well, actually, I think it's like I just want to ask, like, both of you, as I said before, it's like, what are the main challenges that you consider that the independent movies have nowadays, and how, like, we as an audience, what we can do, or what do we have to do in order to promote more these films? I don't know who wants to start with that. I don't know, Victor, if you want to start with it.
Well, I don't mind. There are so many numerous challenges. Obviously, the money is one of them. Where do you get money from independent films? For our film, censorship is a major issue as well. We will likely encounter censorship from the big media in Brazil. So we are criticizing the big media. So they're not going to appreciate that. So And if we do see a military coup in Brazil, and that's what Bolsonaro wants to do, he wants to stage an autogolpe, a self-coup, similarly to what Trump did unsuccessfully. So if we do have a military dictatorship in Brazil soon, we're going to be suffering with under a lot of censorship. So funding, obviously, in Brazil, Ancine has been abolished. Well, not abolished, but it has been hollowed inside. Ancine is the film body in Brazil, so everyone in the film industry in Brazil is completely desperate, doesn't know what to do. So funding is a major challenge. Censorship is a challenge as well, and I'm going to allow Laura to talk a little bit because I'm sure her challenges are pretty different from the challenges she has encountered are different from mine.
Well, I think as the same as Victor is difficult getting people to believe and invest in independent filmmaking. That's for sure. So you need to obviously, apply to many grants and, try to talk to many young people. So that's always challenging. And for me, I think also we're living right now this is a personal part because I like to show complexity. And right now I think the world is very polarized. And I think it's becoming very difficult to talk about anything. And I find that very, very sad. I think conversation is always important, but right now we're living in a moment where it seems that wherever you are, is it here in the UK, is it in Mexico, is it in the US, is like everybody feels either you are with me or against me, and we cannot talk. And the type of films that I make want to question that there's no simple solutions. And life, and humanity is quite complicated. So exactly, solutions need a lot of dialogue from a lot of people to come and, have a conversation in order to try to find any kind of not solution, because I don't think exists that magic wand that will bring, suddenly everything will be, great for everybody. But I think one of the hope could be having a conversation. And I think right now, for me, what's been very challenging is that exactly things are becoming polarized and people don't want to talk about complexity. People want it either black or white or this or that, and there's no more talk. And that's challenging. And now that also, it scares me, to be honest. I think it's very important that we can always talk.
I'm always on mute. That's that's for everyone. Just for this amazing chat with two filmmakers, documentary filmmakers. We did it like that, so you see both ways how they've been reaching and how the careers are, and both are realities, both from the fake news, from what's happening in the border. So it's two amazing things. At the end of the day, is us humans, we live in this, and it's been amazing conversations where we can find your work. First Laura and then Victor.
Well, Roger, thank you. So you can find one of my films, Hermanos, you can find it in Amazon, in Prime Video Direct. So you can find it there, Amazon Acquire, which was very helpful. And Non-Western, my latest film, is in the festival circuit at the moment. Hopefully, maybe you're in a country where it's in a broadcast, or if not, hopefully soon will be in a platform. And right now, if you join us for the South Social Festival on the 24th of July, you'll be able to watch the trailer of the new film I'm making. And yes, thank you.
Well, my film isn't available yet, so you're going to have to wait until it premieres in Cuba. So then and until it premieres in London. So I'll get the word out when it's up in London on the 25th. I'm obviously going to be at South Social, so I'm going to show the trailer and the first music video from the film, because we do have an original soundtrack, including a couple of songs by Chico Buarque, a very famous Brazilian singer. So so do join us on the 25th, because I'll show you the trailer and the first music video, and we can talk a little bit about the film, meet face to face. So if you want to know more about the Coup d'etat Factory, best thing to do is just Google it. There's abundant news about it. We are on Instagram, the Coup d'etat Factory on Instagram, and we are on Facebook, Fábrica de Golpes on Facebook. But yeah, but there's abundant literature on Google if you Google the Coup d'etat Factory or our Portuguese title, which is A Fantástica Fábrica de Golpes. Yes, so hope to see you soon. Yeah, I hope to see you all on the 25th. I hope to see you all face to face. It's very exciting.
That would be really good. And well, thank you very much, Laura. Thank you very much, Victor. It's like we have a couple of comments as well. Of course, when you were talking about the different stories that you're telling in your films, Laura. Well, Pamela is saying that, well, it could be a very humbling feeling to view the way others. Sorry, this is jumping a little bit. The way others live their lives. Sorry. And of course, the different struggles that they have and that they pass through. And also Gary, well, she's mentioned that, well, it had been a thought time for the filmmakers in general. And it's really interesting what are you saying. And sometimes it could be a little bit scary too, if she's saying. Katia Waters, she's saying thank you for the very interesting talk about the guests. Yeah. Also, Jaja Aguilera, well, she's saying thank you very much for your life lessons and perspectives. And congratulations, Lily Martinez, to Laura. Her work is interesting and great to see it. Yeah, and actually, like I didn't know that it was in Amazon. I had the opportunity to watch Hermanos. Yeah, so I think this is like very, yeah, it's interesting to know more about other people's life. And as you were saying, comparing things. And also, Victor, well, good luck with these new endeavors and the new film. And please let us know what is happening after the release in Cuba. That, well, everybody, we can say that, well, hopefully, well, you can share with us some of the information and of course, inviting all the audience that, well, the 24th and 25th is a South Social Film Festival that, well, is going to be in Dulwich Park. So, well, remember to be there. And also, well, Laura is going to be there the 24th and Victor the 25th. So it's going to be a good time to talk with them directly. So thank you very much, Laura, and thank you very much, Victor, for being here with us. And well, good luck, and see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here in the Latin American show and show us how interesting each work is. And you cannot miss out this opportunity, because these opportunities are on the film festivals, and we need to support South Film Festival.
Social Film Festival.
Social.
You see? Also, you have problems. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you very much, Laura. Thank you very much, Victor. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, well, well, you know now that, well, if you want, there's already tickets, so you can go and buy it directly in the South Social Film Festival. That I say it like very quick, and I think so without mistakes.
You say it well.
So yeah, and well, so it's like, remember that, well, they are like some tickets available, and now I think it's time to go with Whitney.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Thank you guys for still tuning in. If you are, I know the big game is on right now, and it's Italy 1 to Spain 0. So my goodness. All right. So this is going to be quick. It's just some slang from Mexico because that was one of the guests was from Mexico and I don't speak Portuguese. So let's look at a few words that we haven't seen yet in slang. So the first is, there we go. All right, I'm sure there'll be some critiques here, but here we go. Chavo or chava. So this isn't just used in Mexico. I believe Honduras, Nicaragua, it's used as well. And I'm sure other parts of other Spanish-speaking countries. And this is a word that's commonly used to describe like young people, like it could be like kids, adolescents, or someone who's young and youthful, similar to kid in English. So it'd be chavo or chava if you're speaking about, you know, like our different genders. This next word, I don't know if I would call it slang, but it is very particular. Chicano. So natives will use this word to describe people of Mexican origin who are born in the USA and not, or who were born in Mexico but emigrated at an early age to the USA. So I don't know if I call that slang, but it is a particular word. So I guess it kind of qualifies. The third word is tocayo tocaya. Now, the best way to say this in English is your namesake. It's anyone who shares your first name with you. Okay. So if someone were to have Roger's name, it'd be su tocayo. If it was my name, it'd be tocaya. So it depends on obviously gender and the name. And then next up, we have el ratero, la ratera. Okay, so ratera is normally it means mousetrap, but in Mexican slang, it is used instead of saying ladrón or thief. Okay, so both of those words, ladrón obviously still means thief, and ratero is thief, whether it's male or female. And then the last word, camión. So I don't even know when this was, but Enrique, actually, I'm going to credit you. If you listen to Enrique, and I listen to him about like 50% of the time, so I did remember this. El camión is normally truck, but it also can be slang for buses in parts of Latin America, and one of those parts is Mexico. So that's considered slang as well because it has a different meaning. And that's it. I kept it short and sweet. Those are 5 words from Mexico. If you want to learn more, watch past segments or future segments because we feature Mexico a lot, and I will be doing those words again in future episodes far, far away for people who did not watch tonight's episode. And that's it. Enrique, do you have a comment?
Yeah, well, no, it's like Lily Martinez also. She's saying Enrique and Roger are chavos. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah,
Roger.
Chavo Ruco. He's Chavo Ruco.
Roger, I think so. You are like 15 minutes younger than me, so I think so. You're not allowed 15, to talk about that.
15 minutes. Yeah. It's more an hour and a half, man.
Roger, we're almost the same age. So it's like, so.
By the way,
no, you are just a teenager, Whitney. We know that.
This is for Whitney. Chavo Ruco.
Chavo Ruco.
Chavo Ruco.
It's 2 words. Okay, Chavo, which is kind of like teenager, and Ruco, it means like old man. So 2. You're a young and an old. So that's Enrique.
Chavorruco is a trendy phrase that, well, it's like in Mexico, it's for people that, well, it's like you are still like young, but you are not a millennium. So it's more like.
So Enrique is referring to himself. Un ruco. Un chavo ruco.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, okay.
You done it with me. You done it.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so I was like, thank you very much for that, Whitney. Thank you for that words. So now you know when you're traveling to Mexico, different kind of words that you can use, and also just be careful if they are telling you ruco or, well, if this chavo is not a bad word, so it's like something good. Yeah. And well, I think it's time to go to music. We have our friend my Kalle, and we have a little bit of music for you guys before we go. So over you, Roger.
Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Pule, 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 bamwe. Sukwe, 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 bamwe. Ase vini bamwe. Mate bamwe. Mate fesu bamwe. Vini dance upaka kopan. Because your body ain't the man and a man is just a man. Just know I'm delusion, man. Understand? I know you're not my girl. I wanna wind up on you till you're mine, my girl. Oh, me reggaeton. Well, pass me the rum. We gonna drink all night till it's done, my girl. Vini pue, ouvre mo chebe for to do tout journée. Tout journée, ou pas aisé, ou café, moi chaud, monsieur. Use a hot wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama.
Dale mami, yo sé eso, muévalo. Ella quiere más, entonces siéntalo, siéntalo, siéntalo. Wine, ponte, vamos, quémalo. Flow mágico en español, busca el patrón. Quiere conocer de la in-zone, es que me busca, ella le gusta. Una coqueta que mantiene en la rumba. Me lo baila todo suave, slow wine. Tomando rum and Bacardi all night. De aquí salimos todo bien high. La fiesta nunca para, alright. Ella sabe que la quiero y ella sabe que la tengo. Y no la voy a soltar, y no la voy a soltar.
Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama. Use a bad wine now. In the club with all designer. Bend it down like a coal miner. Then you bring it up slow, mama.
Well, they are our friends from, well, our friend Mike Kalle. So, well, it's like you can find him on YouTube. Also, Mike Kalle, but it's with K. So it's not like a Kalle like a street, like it could be in Spanish. So, well, Mike Kalle, so you can find it, and you can find more music about him, well, him, and with different performances that he has. So, well, I think it's almost time to go. I just want to remind you that, well, we have the Salsathon, so remember to submit all your videos before the 12th of July. You have time. Use the music that there's there available on YouTube in our page of YouTube, and also, well, send us to sambaton2021@gmail.com. And the 13th of July, we're going to upload all those videos on Instagram, so you can vote for your favorite. So, and remember to ask your friends to vote for you. It doesn't matter if you are going to dance single, if you are going to dance with a couple or with a partner, or if you're going to dance in a group, it doesn't matter. And remember, as Roger used the fridge to dance with, you can use the broom, the mop, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the particular skills. You don't have to be a professional. Remember, it's just to have fun, to enjoy it, and just to celebrate the independence of Colombia. And I would like to say also thank you very much for the Consulate of Colombia and the Colombian Embassy in the United Kingdom for their support. Yeah, and our friends from La Mamba Negra as well. It's like they are providing us the music. So remember, it's very easy to participate with this one. So Abhijit, are you going to join today? It's asking here, Liliana, if you're going to join to the challenge. So hopefully yes, but this like not only Abhijit, all of you that they are watching us, invite your friends, the ones that maybe you know that while they are watching, they are extraordinary prizes that also you can check them in the event section of the Latin America show Facebook page. In the section of events, you can see the different prizes that you can win. So remember, submit your videos. So it's time to go. So I would like to say thank you very much to my friends. Roger Alarcon.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you guys. Two amazing careers, which I was studying, 2 different careers, and we know all about them. And I'm ready for the Salsathon. By the way, I saw in Instagram our participant is going to be Yaya. I saw in Instagram she was practicing in the hall of her house. That's amazing. I love that. Anyway, see you next week.
Thank you very much, Roger. On the other side of the world, we have Whitney Nuchereno.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope that if you haven't been watching the big match, that you watch it after, and I'll see you next week.
Okay,
0-0.
so, well,
Still.
No, it's 1-0. Hold on. No. I think it's 1-0. Italy is 1 up. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Still 1-0.
okay.
Italy. Yeah.
1-0.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Italy
So-
1-0. Yeah, true.
Okay, so well, it's like, and thank you very much. Remember to share this video. Remember that the Latin America, well, they are saying that, well, it's like Abhijit is el rey de masala. So, well, let's see your skills, Abhijit, and all our friends. Also, I would like to see Pamela Rollins, Abhijit, we have here Annalise, Jaja, Katia Walters. Invite all your friends, Elżbieta, invite all your friends to join us to this celebration of the Latin American culture and Colombia Independence Day. So, well, remember the Latin America show is every Tuesday, 8 p.m. London time. My name is Enrique Gelista. It's a pleasure being here and have a good week. See you next week.